Hey, you Mystic members, Mystic Poet 82 here, and welcome to a comparison of Facebook versus Twitter. So it'll be like, which one do you think is better? I personally like Twitter better. But here's some of the little things that I compared on here. Number one, status. On Facebook, you're only given a few statuses to pick from. But in my opinion, that's really not enough. What if it's none of anyone's business what your status is? Twitter doesn't have it. So really it's up to you whether or not you want to share it or not by putting it in your bio. I think Facebook needs the option to add what you want to add as long as it's not like offensive or something. Because like if you want to say none of your business, then you can put that. Number two, profile picture. Facebook. As soon as you use the selfie, you get a bunch of friend requests from desperate random guys who are looking for a hookup. They don't care what your status is. They want a chick. So, if you use a drawing or something else, they leave you alone. On Twitter, this doesn't really happen as much. At least it hasn't to me. I mean, it has a couple times, but I never really used a selfie as my profile picture. And it's so much easier on Twitter to just report and block someone for harassment if they bother you. That's pretty much it for that. So, like, that's why Facebook, I just did my drawing of my avatar for, because I kept getting stupid requests from guys, and it's just like, no, I've had enough of this. Facebook also has no dark mode, for shame, because Twitter has it. YouTube has it, now the app doesn't, but whatever. But the nice thing about Twitter is it also has a setting to where you can have it turn to night mode in the evening, and then when it hits morning, it'll switch over to day mode. It's like at a certain time during the day. Now it's kind of screwed up the app when I did that, so I prefer just to keep it on night mode all the time, because it is easier on the eyes. Next thing, chain tags. Freaking hate these. The most recent ones I've seen on Facebook require selfies, which I rarely take many selfies unless I make myself look nice when going out for the weekend. Then I might feel like it, but I don't always. The rest of the time, I could give a rat's behind how I look, because I'm not girly, and I don't really care much for wearing makeup, but I'll wear a little to go to work now that I'm on day shift. Now, the other tags that you get through Facebook are usually on Messenger, and unfortunately, those are susceptible to hackers, so I ignore them. If you're gonna tag me on something on Facebook, make it a meme or a funny video or something. But don't ever tag me in animal abuse videos, because I cannot freaking stand those. They're depressing, and I don't want to see that kind of stuff, especially if I'm already in a depressed mood. I don't need that. Now, Twitter has a thing where you can check if you don't want to be tagged in photos. That kind of doesn't work, because they can still put you on that photo. It's just your name's not going to be under it, like when you pick the people who are tagged in it. They can still put your name unless you ask them nicely, otherwise please don't. And the problem is, if it's a mass tagging of like friends or something, it can lead to a lot of notifications, and if you're using it on mobile, it'll blow up your phone like crazy, and can get really overwhelming. But usually the best thing to do is ignore it if you're busy and look at it later. And then maybe read through and like all those comments or whatever. But even then, if you really don't want to be tagged, just ask the person, say, hey, can you just send it through DM, which is direct message? And then you can give your response to them that way, and then that way you don't have to read through all that stuff. Chat. It's kind of funny because Facebook needs a separate app for chatting one-on-one. Twitter, you can do it right there, and you can do it one of two ways. Either tweeting back and forth, if you don't care if other people read your stuff, your comments, your conversation, whatever, or direct message. But the other great thing about the direct messages, you can add more people to that. You can turn that into a group of friends just hanging out, chilling and chatting and sharing stuff. Facebook doesn't have that option. Birthday notification, probably about one of the only good things about Facebook is it notifies you when someone's birthday is so you can wish them a happy birthday. Now, Twitter, you can actually keep your birthday hidden even from your followers, like if you don't want them to wish you a happy birthday, but there's no notification. So like even if they don't know, if they forget that it's your birthday, like they won't know unless they go on your actual Twitter account, because it'll show little balloons going up when it's your birthday, which is a kind of cool little animated thing. But it would be nice to have notifications, because if you have a lot of friends on Twitter, yeah, you're gonna forget. You're gonna very easily forget and miss it. Unless, like, they do something to where they change their name. Like, if I changed mine to Mystic Birthday Girl or something like that. I don't know. Like, if they make it obvious that it's their birthday, or put, like, a birthday hat emoji in it, you really may not know, and they may not even want to be wished a happy birthday, because some people just don't like it, which is understandable. Edit option. The one thing Twitter desperately needs is an edit option, because Facebook has this. And I know people have been wanting it on Twitter for freaking ever, like, goodness knows how long, because I've not been on it as long as others that I know. Because I tell you what, when you're tweeting something out, and you're especially on mobile, it's kind of embarrassing when you type it out so fast that you don't catch a typo. Or your phone library decides to put the wrong thing on it, and then you read over it after you've already tweeted it and are like, oh crap, and then you have to delete it and redo it, and you feel like an idiot because you had to do that. It's like, there needs to be an edit button on Twitter. But it seems like they don't care, they won't listen to us because we've asked for it for so long. Memes. Both sites are awesome for memes. But the one thing I cannot stand on Facebook is people who purposely go to those pages to get it banned, either for the name, or like when one of them does a meme war where everybody just puts the funniest meme they have on their phone, and it could be something extremely offensive, and then they just people purposely are butthurt, and they go on there and report it to have it all removed, to ruin other people's fun. And like, in my eyes, those type of people are butthurt babies who are not mature enough to ignore it and move on. And they need to be banned from Facebook if they're gonna do stuff like that, because that's not right. What if we went on their sites and saying their crap offends us and have them removed? Now, social groups. Facebook seems to be more confined to your personal social groups, instead of encouraging people to make friends with people from all around the world. I mean, I guess it probably depends on what pages you have liked and put comments on and stuff. 'Cause, like, I'm part of Hotel Transylvania fan club on Facebook, and there's people from all over on that. But I mean, like I said, it all depends. The nice thing about Twitter is that it has 20 top trends, and the majority of them, not quite all of them, the majority of them are hashtags, and some of them are ones where you're encouraged to be creative and come up with your own little thing for that hashtag, and usually something funny. Which is really what I love about Twitter, because you get people from all over liking it, and then they end up liking your stuff, and they follow you, and you follow them back, and you make friends. And sometimes even with, like, YouTube and Twitch the same way. Now, people have been whining about Facebook's invasion of privacy. Come on, they're never gonna change that, people. Just let it go. They'll just lie, keep telling you they will, but if you really think about it, Twitter isn't innocent either. I noticed, now, I like Snapple Peach Iced Tea. Anybody else that likes Snapple knows they have the real facts under the cap. Now, I've heard some of those are fake. I'm not sure which ones are. But real fact number 1367 says every tweet Americans send is archived by Library of Congress. Yeah, that's an invasion of privacy too, in my opinion. So hey, you're not gonna get away with it, or get away from it, so you might as well just grin, bear it, and move on. Buying stuff. I'm just gonna say one thing. For both platforms, do not buy jewelry unless you know it is a legit, real jewelry store with good quality merchandise, because I've already made that mistake. Don't buy jewelry. I bought a ring from a store called Venestia, and it was really, really pretty. It didn't last me a month before the crap started peeling on it, and it looked like complete crap. So when I started getting more emails from them, I sent it to my spam folder. So don't buy jewelry from you know, that kind of thing. Unless you know, like, it's a real jewelry. Like, unless you know your jewelry and you know it's a real place. That place is obvious crap. Now, there's a couple things I've left out of this list. I was going to do them, but then I thought no, because I left them out for good reasons. The type of things that you see on your timelines, whether Facebook or Twitter or both, is under your control. And the things I left out are regarding friends and family, as well as politics. Like I said, you have control over what you see. When it comes to politics, it's easy enough to block that stuff, especially on Twitter. Now, when it comes to friends and family, if you see negative stuff, just ignore it, because the more you focus on that kind of stuff, the more you'll do that stuff, and I've learned that from Facebook, because it's kind of brought a lot of negative out in me, so I try to stay off it. So sometimes the best thing is don't go on that platform altogether, unless, like with Facebook, you're just, hey, I got a birthday notification, do that, get off. That's it. That's kind of pretty much how I do it. I ignore tags a lot of times, depending on what they are, and I ignore a lot of other things. And also, look for something that'll cheer you up. If you see something negative somewhere, either one, look for something that's funny that'll cheer you up if you need it. But don't ever, 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 ever get wrapped up in someone else's drama, and don't go creating any either. It just sets the mood for negativity no matter where you are. And when it keeps going, it gets worse and worse and worse. And it continues to escalate. And it's not pretty. So, in conclusion though, I do prefer Twitter because number one, you can be creative with your account. You don't have to have a status. You don't have to put your real name. You don't have to give that out. You don't have to give any information out you don't want to. You can put whatever you want and you can have fun with it. You can also, the nice thing, you can have multiple accounts. Like, I made an account for just posting memes for my friends. Instead of doing them on mine amongst all the other crap I post, I made one for memes. And I've made others for other things. Like, I made one for my YouTube community. So, that's what I like about Twitter. That's why I like it better. If everyone from my Facebook would go on Twitter and actually use it and follow me and I'd follow them back, I would delete Facebook in a heartbeat. I would get rid of my Facebook in a heartbeat. But I know not everybody's going to do that because people get comfortable with, whatever platform they're on and they stick with it, and that's fine. And I don't even know anybody that uses MySpace anymore. Something tells me that's pretty dead. I couldn't even access my old account. And I had all the information written down too, and it wouldn't let me get on. And I'm like, alright, well, screw this. But, yeah, Facebook is pretty much just for friends, family, church, whatever. That kind of stuff. And now, if there's a few of them that have appeared on Twitter, but they haven't really done a whole lot. But I've made a lot of amazing friends on Twitter, too. So, if you're looking for another place to make awesome friends, Twitter is very highly recommended, and I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and have a wonderful week.